Hello and welcome to Nerdy Gaming with Arabbidb3aver today. And today we're going to be talking about Sony. There's been a lot of things that have been going on recently with Sony. And man, I don't know if it's good or bad or ugly, but it's something that's going to be happening. And I appreciate you guys for being here. So let's just jump right into it. So in 2011, the PlayStation 3 had this problem with digital games. It was called the C bomb. If your Cmos or your battery decided to die for some reason, then it couldn't handshake with the network and it wasn't able to make your games play. It also happened again in 2015, and then they took them both away from 2011, and then in 2015 they took it away again. But it's been rearmed. It's been rearmed today with your digital games. Only your digital games are affected. Those that have been purchased within the past 2 months are the ones that are most effective since they've rearmed the CMOS bomb. And for some of you that don't know what we're talking about, the CMOS bomb, basically, basically what it was is it gives you an error code like CE30391 was the original one for PlayStation 4, and it was an 800 209 number for PlayStation 3. And now on PlayStation 5, what it does is it completely locks your games. So if something was to happen to your CMOS battery, or if something was to happen to the network directly for a 30-day period where you don't have internet, it can't handshake and create your license for the PlayStation servers and for the game, so it can't see that your license is available, and you essentially lose your license to it, to where you lose your game and have to re-up it. And so it's kind of really bad in a couple ways. I mean, it's really, really bad in a couple ways. For one, you have to think as a consumer, it shouldn't matter whether you're online, offline. If you've been offline for 90 days, 60 days, 180 days, 350 days, it don't matter if you've been offline for 12 years and you want to pick that game up and play it today, that license is your license, or it should be your license, but it's not. The way that it's working through the DMB is it has to handshake with the network in order to restore your license. And in most cases that we've seen here recently, it's not restoring the license at all, even after you go back online. So Sony, you've got a really big problem on your hands, a really big consumer rights problem on your hands, because once you purchase the license, it should be your license. It shouldn't just be a 30-day license. That's giving such a short window for people to play their game and play their media that they bought, that you're causing a huge problem instead of being the solution to the problem. The solution is, if you've bought the digital rights or you've bought the media and you bought the license, then that consumer should own the license. They should be able to, quote unquote, have that game whenever they want. If they want to play it on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the morning and it hasn't been 6 years since they've played that game, they should be able to download that game and play that game and have no problem with it. The problem that we've got now is that without the handshake to the network and without the time resolution that's being sent to it, you've got 30 days in order to play that game. And then once that 30 days is up, if your PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 doesn't handshake the network and say, okay, we're good within this 30-day period, you lose all access and all rights to that game and all playability for that game until you're able to establish a new connection and or repurchase the license to that game, as we've seen in the past couple days with several games that have popped up this way. And I'm not reporting anything new. Mr. Mystic from YouTube has reported this as well, and he did a in-depth video on it, as well as lots of other people. But I'm telling you guys, you're at a slippery slope here. You're actually putting yourself in a position essentially to be sued by the consumers and also to lose your consumer fan base. I don't think PlayStation's going anywhere, to be honest with you, for a while. I think that they're going to pick up and realize that they've made a mistake and that they're going to fix this problem. The problem I see right now is what about the millions of consumers you currently have that are losing their rights as we speak to this product? That's what you've got to see, is you've disenfranchised millions of players by picking and choosing who can and who cannot play based upon, are they connected to PlayStation Network and are they handshaking with the server system, and will the games work if they're not connected to the server systems after 30 days. I think it's a huge problem that you've got. It's a major problem that you got because, I mean, we're past the infancy of digital gaming here, and there's been one person in particular who kind of has the rights on this, and it's old Gabe Newell, from Steam. He is the one that posted it right out whenever he was talking about combating piracy, and there's been a lot of people who have taken the philosophy that he's got from it. I'm pulling up a direct quote from him right here. But he said that he argues piracy is a symptom of poor inconvenience or restrictive service, and the best way to combat it is by creating a better, more valuable service, such as offering easier access to games, automatic updates, and community features. And he's absolutely right. When you take away the consumer's rights to have any of those whatsoever, you're opening up the door for true piracy to begin. And we've already seen it with a lot of other things. There's a lot of people who are going to be out here that are going to be upset and angry that they don't have this license anymore. And they're going to go by hook or crook and find a way to get it, or they're going to switch services to get that license and pay for that license somewhere else. And that way they can control what they've got. And for those of you who don't know who Gabe Newell is, he started Steam. He's one of the co-founders of Steam, and he is the man right now currently in the industry that's leading the industry and all game sales 100%. So, you're really given the opportunity to your competitors to step up and do something better in the industry whenever you continue to restrict your players. It's essentially, I posted earlier, it's essentially like putting all your players in prison and saying you're all guilty of something, even though none of you have done it. But you're all guilty of it. And unless you play by our rules and play by our game, then you have no rights to play this game or to have this media or to have anything. And so it begs the question, where does push come to shove and when does it stop? When does it stop being your rights to own the media? Did you pay $60 for that game? Did you pay $70 for that game? Did you pay $100 for that game and the license that comes with them? And now you're not able to access it for whatever reason, because it doesn't want to handshake the DMB. It doesn't want to get involved with the servers. It doesn't want to be on PlayStation Network. It should not matter whether you're online or not. Once you have that license downloaded and it's a hard copy on your device, it should be a hard copy to your hard drive. Once that is hard copy to your hard drive, whatever hard drive, whether it's external or internal, you should own that media for life. That's all there is to it. Because now what's essentially going to happen is if PlayStation decides to release the PlayStation 6, which they're going to soon, we know that, and they decide that they're going to cut out all the servers from PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 2 as well for some of the servers that are still up there. They decided that they're going to cut out all servers for all consoles across the board other than the PlayStation 6. And your stuff that's linked to your account has to have that handshake and it has to have that online activity in order for you to receive it. Then day one, coming out of the box, you're not going to be able to play that stuff. And then you're going to have to renew those licenses if you do own that stuff. And then also, let's say PlayStation 6 is not going to be backwards compatible, because we've seen both sides. They're saying it can be backwards compatible all the way to the 3. We've also seen them say that it's not going to be backwards compatible at all. There's a lot of gobbledygook with the PlayStation 6 that's actually been coming up. So you don't really know if you're going to be able to play those games that you already currently own. And if they cut those servers off, if they cut everything off, they've essentially bricked your system then, because now not only do you have to have that 30-day handshake, you have to authenticate your license every 30 days, but now you're also in the effect of, well, I bought a new system and I can't use it, and I can't use any of my old media, and I can't use anything. So I know it's kind of like fear mongering in a way to say that, but the truth of it is you're losing your rights as a digital owner, and it begs the right, do you own the license or not? If you're just renting the license for 30 days, then you need to have a rental renewal service. And that's essentially where they're going with it, is if you don't own that license and you go back to the Cmos bomb on it, and you every 30 days, you either have to buy that game again or subscribe in order to have that game added, then you've got issues, PlayStation. And I'm sorry, you're going to lose your consumer. You're going to lose your casual consumers for this because you're moving farther and farther away from disc-based media and having that license through a disc and reading that license through a disc. You're moving farther and farther away, and you're getting closer and closer to only digital media is what you're trying to go through. And heck, you're even selling consoles that are strictly digital media consoles only. So you've even started the first step in this. Now, the second step is to fix it. How do we fix it? How can we make it better for the consumer? How can we make it better on our people, our consumers, our loyal fan base, our gamers on a daily basis, the over 180 million gamers on any given day, so that their lives are easier, that they can access the media when they want. And your answer to them was, make sure you got internet, make sure your console's connected all the time. That's not realistic, especially in today's day and age. Everybody is nickel diming and squeezing every little bit of money that they can out of anybody and everybody for anything and everything that they're doing. And you got to realize, like, the house payments today are no longer $300 and $400 a month for 30 years. You're talking $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Then you've got a car payment. Most people have a car payment. The average car payment in America currently is $800 a month. And then let's say you've got kids. You've got to keep them fed. You've got to keep them clothed. You've got to keep them with supplies for school. You've got to keep everything going. And your target base is for those children most of the time with your games. Not all the time. I mean, you have mature games. You have stuff that's out there. But you want to make the next generation be a consumer of your product. And the best way to do that is to give them easy access to the products that they already own. Not make problems for mom and dad at home who have spent their hard-earned money on these products so that their child can experience these things, or themselves to experience these things and then lose all access to it because they don't have internet at home. The average internet price currently in America, even though a lot of people are going to say it's $59 a month, the average internet price is $89 a month. A month. And that was according to a thing done by Reuters about 3 weeks ago. Reuters went ahead and polled in almost 150,000 people. And on average, they paid almost $89 a month for internet. So that's not including your price of groceries, your cost of living, anything else that goes along with it. You've got insurance. If you have cars, it's mandatory to have insurance now. And if you got a car loan, it's full coverage insurance. So you're paying a lot of money for that. So you're not taking into account that you're moving gaming from casual, everyday gamers and children, people that normally wouldn't have access to it and want to get their friends involved and have everybody else involved in gaming too and trying to play with their friends, to now you're getting to a point to where if the average consumer does not make, let's say 80 grand, then it's not going to work. All right, that's it for today. Thank you guys for being here. Nerdy Gaming with the Arabbidb3aver. Bye, guys.